Everyone, this is Crypto here, and I wanted to make a video to just kind of talk about what's going on right now and just get some stuff out of my mind and out into the ether, as it were. Anyway, I'm sure you're all aware already now that the price of Bitcoin has passed $650. I literally had to think about it because it just keeps going up. When I woke up, it was somewhere like $630, hovering around $626, hovering around there, and it just keeps going up. And even Ethereum now is past $15, which was at an all-time high, the ETH, if you will. And now we're hitting something like 15, 20 and touching that repeatedly. And I think that's insane. I think it's absolutely insane. I think we're living through a very special time right now. I mean, Bitcoin has passed $10 billion market cap. It's at like 10.15 now. So it's in there solidly. Ethereum is solidly over 1 billion. It's at 1.25, something like that. $1.25 billion. That's so much money, and yet it's nothing. As I mentioned in previous videos, out of all the wealth that was calculated in a study in 2014, it was $243 trillion in the world. Apparently $8.5 trillion of that is in gold. If just a small percentage, if it was just $1 trillion was put into Bitcoin, what's 1 trillion divided by 10 billion? That's 1,000 times pretty much what you have inside of your account right now. So I don't know. I keep hearing all this shaky news about the stock market. I keep hearing it's gonna collapse. I keep looking. I don't even look for that specifically. I'll just type in US dollar. I'll type economy, and every professional theorist seems to say that the market is it's on very thin ropes right now. It's been pushed forward by hedging, by banks. They keep printing money. And what drives price, right? Why is Bitcoin so expensive right now? That's what people don't understand. Why would somebody pay $650 for a Bitcoin? I saw somebody write online. Why would somebody pay $100,000? Why would the price ever be $1 million for one Bitcoin or for one Ethereum? Why would anybody pay for that? Well, it's simple. Why does the US dollar hold value? Because we believe it does. That's it. And then plus its total amount in circulation versus a total amount, I guess, of faith in it. So in Bitcoin, which transitions from all the currencies, you can put US dollars, Chinese, Canada, and the US dollar tends to be kind of a stable hold of value currently for some reason around the world, right? But if we keep printing it, which is what's going on, especially when we're bailing out our banks, when we go ahead and go into debt, we create money through debt. When you borrow money from the bank, that's money that doesn't exist. They don't have money. You just borrow money. They put a number in your account, and then they charge you interest, hoping to get that back. And that's how money is created. So they hope on you basically going into debt to help the economy. So they put interest rates really low. And so people borrow money and create money. However, that's not sustainable, because think about it. If anybody could get US dollars in Venezuela or in Brazil, reals, if anybody can just get a huge supply because there's so much out there and it's easy to come by, then the worth is very little. You know what I mean? And it's not backed by anything since we went off the gold standard. So it's not backed by anything physical. Fiat literally just means it's backed by nothing but faith. It's just printed paper money. So what gives them the ability to print money, right? It's okay. They get to basically create infrastructure. They've created things like Visa that has spawns that charges huge transaction fees, makes so much money every single day. Visa, American Express, and MasterCard. And they charge an exorbitant amount because merchants have to go through Visa, right? They have to go through Visa, for example, and that's a way for them to dispute, to charge back. It's just this, they're kind of like a middleman. When we're finding that they don't have to be. They've only existed because they were the only options, if you think about it. Mainstream. But however, I think if you have a lot of wealth, why would you pay them so many huge fees? If you have a business, why would you choose to have Visa, American Express as Bitcoin and Ethereum become more well known? Why would you choose to pay 25 cents per dollar or 0.025, whatever it is, per dollar to Visa when you could pay practically nothing through Ethereum and Bitcoin? Like, why would you do that? At least have Bitcoin as an option. You look at merchants like Amazon. You look at merchants like Starbucks, places that accept Bitcoin, and these places are either giving you a 10% or a 20% discount, some of these places, and you're like, oh, that's great. So it encourages people to buy the Bitcoin. However, that company is so smart, because you look at the price now and it's up what, like 50%, some huge, like 40%, 30%, like a month, some huge amount. And you look at Amazon and all these merchants that were taking Bitcoin before when it was around $280, $300, and right now they've more than doubled their money. So even at a 20% discount that they were charging back then, and still today, they're up over 100%. They're up 80%, whatever it is. So that's irrelevant. Plus, what we have to realize is that by helping each other, we help the economy of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of the crypto space. We help it because the more people that are aware, the more people that realize that this is a big possibility, just a paradigm shifting, revolutionary. It's everything. When people realize just how easy it is, how it becomes easier through development, how you can easily send money to your grandmother, to your family, to your aunts, to get paid, to verify that things actually happened, and then go to court or whatever we want to do. It's all in the blockchain. When more people realize just how fundamentally different from everything else we've ever done that cryptocurrency is, adoption rate will shoot like this. Anybody who understands, who does the research and they understand how supply and demand works, there's very little supply and demand. Currently, I guess, compared to the rest for Ethereum and Bitcoin. But you look at the supply of Bitcoin. Right now, there's something like 16 million out there. 21 million will ever be mined and created. However, a crap ton of that has been lost. And so what's on the exchanges? What's going around? The price is shooting up. If you hold some right now and you hold on to it, I can almost guarantee once we get past the halving, once we have another halving coming up, that is just gonna keep going up in value. You understand? You don't have to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy 0.0001 Bitcoins at 10 cents or whatever it is, and you can hold on to that, and you will probably have a pretty decent return in 5 years. So my mother called me today trying to understand just what this is, what exactly is Bitcoin, and I explained to her Coinbase. She gets worried about bank account information and privacy and security. What we have to realize is that I don't have that much money in my bank account. A lot of it is in the cryptocurrency space. It's not tracked as by the government. They don't know where that money is. They don't know where it came from. They can't really tax me on something they don't know how much I have. So not to say that I'm avoiding taxes. That's not the case. I'm just saying I value my privacy and security, not what Bank of America decides is my privacy and security. You know, I value that I do have wealth, but it exists in the form of an address that nobody necessarily knows is linked to my name unless they were to force people to give it up. Even so, whatever. Big deal. I have money that's gone so many other places that I did diversify. However, it is the future. I think, who cares? That my identity isn't what Bank of America's my identity is. If I can have Bitcoin or whatever it is in the ether in a different account and send it wherever I want and create money, whatever, you know, I think that's going to be worth a lot more in the future. So let's just theoretically say, okay, Trump gets elected. Finally, that big collapse that's been happening happens. It happens. The market goes, woo, let's say that happens. People are going to look to gold, to silver, and then they're going to realize just how difficult it is to hold that and to send that. And in conversations, I think now the public consciousness is more aware of things like Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin is going to come up in those conversations. They're going to say, well, you know, you can actually buy gold with Ethereum on Digix on this. You can actually go to this website, you just link to the Digix, and you can actually buy gold there and hold it there. It's very stable. Oh, but how do you get Digix? Oh, you need something called Ether. Oh, but how do you get Ether? Oh, you go to an exchange and you upload your US dollars, whatever it is, and then you send that Ether from your address over to Digix. It's pretty simple. And I think just teaching people about those two things is going to change everything. People find it so confusing. So, see, you don't have to explain to people exactly what the whole ledger transaction, what blocks are. People don't really understand the science, and they don't want to. They want to know that if they buy something or that they hold on to it, it'll be worth a lot more. People want to get rich quick. That's just how the public consciousness is. And right now, through the halving, is a perfect time to introduce people and everyone around you into Bitcoin. I don't think necessarily it's going to keep going up. I think that we are in a bubble and it will go down. And I do think that a lot of that money is going to get funded into Ethereum. I do believe that both are going to survive and both are going to be a great standard for holding money. I love the Ethereum development space. I love the fact that they're able to scale and they're developing and they're looking at the future and they can make changes. Whereas Bitcoin, that might not really be possible and feasible as we once thought because of centralization. However, I do think that even if Bitcoin has very slow transaction times, even if it has a megabyte cap and there aren't that many transactions, a huge backlog, it doesn't matter because it's a hold of currency. There's only 21 million and you're not going to be moving a lot vast. Let's say you have vast stores of wealth in Bitcoin. You don't move that. You're not going to use that necessarily at a merchant constantly to buy stuff. And if you do, it'll be through side chains. However, if you do want to buy something through merchants, I think Ethereum's a lot more feasible. Yeah, and development and ability to transfer wealth is a lot easier through Bitcoin. I mean, through Ethereum, however. But Bitcoin has such a small amount. It is the leader. It has more awareness. I think it will always, in a way, it will be gold. As they say in Ethereum, will be oil to pay for fees, and it'll be more of a cash system, in my opinion, whereas Bitcoin literally is gold. It's something you hold on to, you keep in a safe, and then you look at it in 20 years and your Bitcoin might be worth $5 million, maybe more, maybe less. But if let's say you had the opportunity right now to hold one Bitcoin, knowing it would be worth $2 million, you came back from the future, it was worth $2 million, would you not have kicked yourself in the face had you not picked up half of a Bitcoin? When you look at those around you and you get a little sad about it because you decided to wait and you were scared. And I think that this is a time to not be scared because only those who don't adapt. Adaptability is everything. That's what humans are. You think your ancestors, they didn't adapt and that's why you're here? Think about it. They were in deserts. They were in jungles. They had diseases. They had to fight off bacteria. There was no immunizations. There was no vaccines. Just answers back and back and back. The fact that you are alive, that you are on this planet is because something and all your ancestors had to fight for survival. They didn't just lay back and die. No, they fought. So laziness is not going to get you anything. However, the ability to risk, to take action, has the potential to bring you a lot. I just don't want to see many people miss the boat because a lot of people don't want to hear it. However, I do think that you need to at least put something in it. I had a cousin put $25. That's fine, you know. If put whatever you're willing to risk. If he's okay with losing $25, right? Let's say in 5 years, Bitcoin's gone. I'll probably keep him updated and move it somewhere else if it's literally just gonna collapse. It's $25, but let's say it does go up 1,000 times. What's 1,000 times 25? He made 2,500. Yeah, $2,500. That's not bad for $25. That's not a bad investment. However, if he had put in 4 times that amount, he'd be sitting at $100,000 if he had put in only $100. And so I think that you do have to just gauge your personal ability to risk. Put in $5 every week if you want to. Put in $2, money that you would have spent on that hot dog. Just say, let me not eat that hot dog. Let me put it in this in case, and that money might be worth a lot more, you know? And I think it's important that we do it and raise awareness and talk about it, as I always say. And we do post on the forums when we hit a $10 billion, $1.2 billion market cap, when prices go up. The more we talk about it, the more people are aware. They'll ignore it eventually. They'll just kind of browse past it as they scroll through their feeds on Facebook. But I think the more they hear about it and they start seeing the numbers and they just clue in on it, conversations come up, the more money that goes into these things, just people putting in $25 or $100, the more we all stand to gain from it because there's more money in it. And so by helping each other, by making each other more aware and giving each other wealth, we give ourselves wealth and we give society wealth, and we move past a system that is controlled by a centralized point that decides when or how they should print money, because we don't get a say in how much money goes out there. When have you voted to put how much money is going to be bailed to the banks? You don't. So we really don't control inflation. You can put your money in a savings account, sure, but what, at 1%? What is that? That's nothing. A 1%? I don't think that even accounts for inflation, barely. So your money's going to be worth less even if you keep it in savings. In the stock market, it's a fake. It's all a lie, because if you think about it, it just, you get like a 2-3% return, maybe more if you're lucky, maybe less, and then the market crashes and you lose that amount, or you lose 40-20%. It's a game, because they hyperinflate. They pretend that things are worth more than they are. They sell the news. I mean, they tell you about the news and they sell as soon as they release it so that they make a profit. And while the people at the lower stages, they don't really know where that money is. They don't really see physical things. Bitcoin, you can look at the blockchain. You can look at the amount in circulation. You know where it's going to be. That's not the case with any currency besides cryptocurrency currently. And it takes a certain level of trust that I don't think we necessarily have for the government. Not the smarter ones of you. I don't think you necessarily believe. They had things like segregation laws. They had things that were meant to hold us back. And I think this is an opportunity to jump onto something that's life-changing, a paradigm-shifting, world-shifting viewpoint that's going to change everything, turn it on its back. And I think it's going to happen within a decade. I think we're going to have this huge, think about it. Once it reaches that point, the market cap is 1 trillion, 2 trillion. As the smarter investors, there are already plenty of smart investors that have put money into Bitcoin just in case. Think about it. The smart people who are educated already have money in there. Those who don't, the ones who need it the most, haven't. And that's really sad. When it reaches that point where it reaches this huge amount and you're seeing more and more articles and you realize that the $3 trillion in debt, $6 trillion in debt that we are is the total market cap of Bitcoin, and China's buying into that, then why would you hold on to something that's losing value, especially once we realize that it is overvalued? We do think the dollar is worth more than it really is based on what's out there, and we realize what's out there. When you can hold on to something that is a great store of value, that grows because it's deflationary. Literally, as more gets lost, there's less out there on the exchanges. Once we reach certain amounts that reduce the amount mined and created, proof of stake, once we reach a halving again from 12.5 to half of that. And just think about that. In 4 years, there's going to be another halving. Just think about that. What happened? At least 2x, at least 3x, 2.5x maybe this halving, right? From the last 4-year one, right after the huge crash. When more people are aware. And it's like an avalanche. It doesn't happen from $1 billion just like slowly another $1 billion. No, you saw that in the last few months. It went from $7 billion to something to $10.2 billion in like a month on Bitcoin. Things just avalanche as awareness happens. And things don't happen slowly. No, they don't. When people are very aware, when things change and big milestones happen, when Metropolis is released, Serenity, when you realize there's this one number that's linked to something like the market cap of Apple, when we reach like an $80 billion market, when you pass that, suddenly the consciousness switches. It becomes something much more serious. At that point, those of us holding will be like, hey, we told you so. We hoped you jump on board. Those of you who did, high five each other. And those of you who didn't, all you can do is say, well, all you can do now is buy now. There's no better time than to buy right now and just hold on to it. Don't trade necessarily. There are people much smarter than you who manipulate the market and do that. I wouldn't just buy and sell and buy and sell, sell, buy. I wouldn't do that. Cryptocurrency isn't regulated like regular markets. It can be tweaked with bots who buy, and it's very easily manipulated. But I do think if you hold and you're smart, and you just keep that there in an account, and you forget about it if you want, or use it if you want, because the Bitcoin you bought now, gives you a 20% discount here, plus it's growing over time. Use it. I think you have the store value, the value of it because it's a store value and the amount out there, and also transactional volume, the amount that people actually just buy to use to get their discounts or whatever. So you have all these swaths of people that use Bitcoin for different reasons, or Ethereum. And Ethereum doesn't necessarily have as many use cases. For example, it's not accepted by really many merchants. I know there's like I think a hot sauce company out there or whatever that accepts it. I know I'd accept it for tips or whatever the hell you do. But if companies like BitPay integrate Ethereum as it becomes easier to use with things like the Jax wallet and all this development, there's no reason why. Oh, ATMs are also adding Ethereum everywhere. So as more merchants are aware of Ethereum and how much quicker and safer, in a way, it kind of is, and how cool it is, it really is cool. That's the way I see it. Bitcoin's kind of like the old dog on the block. It's like an old dog. It's hardened. It's roughed. It's struggled through the world. It's endured. However, you have this cool cat that's got everything Bitcoin has, and he's just facing the world with ease, with a glide, with a positive future, He's not stuck in his conservative ways. He's a little more liberal. And so I think they're both going to live. We still have conservative and liberal people. We both will live out there. However, why not have both? They're both going to exist for a long time. Oh man, it's hot in here. I've just been waiting for the rain to die out before going to the mall, so I think I'm gonna finish my rant here because it looks like the sun is finally out. I don't know if this whole video recorded. If it didn't, whatever. Anyway, pick some more up if you don't think you have enough, because I do think the money's gonna go, the price of it's gonna go up until the halving, and then might have a small decline, at which point I might really look more into Ethereum if you want to gain more quicker profit, because Ethereum I'm sure will reach $20-$30 by the end of the year at least. I'm pretty positive on that. I'm not sure about Bitcoin's final price once this huge bubble because of the halving happens. However, I do think you should keep money in both. Maybe just keep Bitcoin, not necessarily use it, but Ethereum, that's a pretty cool cat right there. I would hold on to. And right now the price is pretty stable. That's crazy, As Bitcoin chews up, it shows you that people aren't selling their Ethereum for Bitcoin because they're both going up. That's awesome, because it means people believe in Ethereum. And there's no reason why you shouldn't so far. Vitalik Buterin, boy genius, still out there talking to everyone. DevCon 2 coming in September, and Chinese exchanges adding Ethereum. Oh my God, that has the possibility to shoot with no ending. Nothing like Mt. Gox related to it. So I would definitely hold some of that right now while it's cheap. Get in. It's at $15.50. It's dirt cheap. Buy a bunch of it. If you had 100 Bitcoin back when it was this price, you'd be so fucking filthy rich compared to everybody else. Whereas now Ethereum might be that shot, and it's pretty early in the game. People bought it at $1, sure. People bought it in the prepaid, but that was pretty recent. It's been around for barely a year, not even a year. Bitcoin's been around forever. Think about that. Just look at my God. It's so exciting. I'm very excited to live in this time. You should be so excited to have an opportunity like this, and to not put something into it would be kind of depressing, kind of sad. Whereas you can just avoid that by putting something into it. Go on Coinbase.com, upload your information, get it going. 5 days, you might have some money in your account, buy some Bitcoin, and just hold it or use it, Encourage it. Talk to your friends about it. Use your referral link. You get $10, they get $10 if that still exists. Because the future is coming quick, and it happens quicker than you know. It's exciting. Anyway, this is Crypto Out, and I'm glad to share my thoughts with you. I'll keep doing that, and if you like this and my opinions and my views, if you don't, go ahead and write it down in the descriptions, in the comments below. Create discussion, talk about it. I love that. Call me out on my bullshit. Tell me you agree with me. I love that. Subscribe either way if you want. I love having both haters and lovers on board, because it doesn't matter. Crypto's about all of us, and we have not. Who cares what kind of conjecture comes up if you look at the numbers and the graphs? We're on the way up, and I'm happy to be here at the forefront of this time, aware of it. Just to be aware, which obviously you are, is incredible. Help make other people aware. Help us all grow, because we'll all grow together, as I keep mentioning. I don't know where we're going, but I do think it's somewhere we haven't been. and it's very exciting. Cheers.